Divine discussions, divine. On Sundays we stream live. Divine discussions, divine. Conversation to stir up your mind.
It was pressure. It was, but it was good pressure. So I didn't complain or anything. So basically, growing up in the church as a pastor's kid, it was always where we had to, we was the praise and worship leader, we was the musician, we was the usher. So I would say, like I said, it would be a good pressure. It wasn't a bad pressure. Did I agree with everything? No, I did not agree with everything. Like, growing up, it was pressure because we couldn't go to monster balls. We couldn't go to, the military ball and stuff like that. So I would say it was, like I said, it was a good pressure. It wasn't a bad pressure. So yeah.
I can answer the question. I would say growing up, I don't feel that I felt as much pressure until I became an adult. I think when I became an adult, that's when I felt the most pressure. And I think because as an adult, okay, your parents, they're preachers, they're singers. So it's this pressure of like, okay, if I'm going to do those same things, is what I'm doing is the value up to their level of the way they do things. So I think that, as an earlier adult, I had a lot of drawback of doing things, and it wasn't because I didn't want to do it. It was more for the fact that, okay, if I do it, and am I going to be judged based on how they usually do things? Because they do things in such excellency, and everyone loves them, everyone knows them. Is what I'm going to do? Is it going to meet up to the standards of what they do? So I think that pretty much was more of the pressure that I had, especially as an earlier adult. I think now I've grown, and I think have matured in how I do things, and I've just matured as an adult. So I think now it's not as bad, and of course it's still there at times. It's not as bad, but like someone said in a comment, that comparison of you to your parents is definitely real.
For me, I don't know if I can say it's good pressure, but I thank God for the pressure, if that makes sense. Because without it, like he gave the example, like he couldn't go to like different places, pretty much. I thank God for that, because without that, I probably would have been in other places. Like I see the reason for, hey, well, you can't do this. I don't want to like jump ahead either because there are other things, but it was I don't really want to say too much, but it was kind of like, oh, well, you can't because of who you are. I don't necessarily agree with that side of it, but I'm still thankful for it. I definitely get that. And like Najol was saying, it's like, oh, well, your dad's this, and it's in you, and it's this, and it's that. Unless God says that He wants that for me, it's not about who my father is. And sometimes it's like, well, because your father's that, you have to be that. It's like, no, that's who God called him to be. So definitely, and like Hannah was saying, comparison and just wanting to, well, is this going to level up to what they're doing? Because my parents are this and my parents are that, and I'm like their seed. So how is that going to look? Stuff like that.